Michelle Buttigieg, the North American representative for the Malta Tourism Authority. Visit malta.com. Such a pleasure to have the opportunity to speak with you again. Thank you so much for taking the time on this lovely Tuesday as we come to the end of March already.
Pleasure being here. Thank you so much for having me.
You are welcome. The pleasure is all mine. And thank you again for the opportunity to continue working with you and your amazing team of Karen and Gabriella and Amanda. They're absolutely fantastic. So thank you very much.
They are
Absolutely.
indeed.
They really are. And we love the new features. Always love your ads. So thank you very much. And Malta, with its 7,000 years of history, of course, it's 300 days of sunshine. And one of the many beautiful things that we discussed last time, but one of those that really struck a chord with me, and then we'll segue into the amazing conversation we're going to have on Malta, is it's just one of the greatest, most beautiful, and hospitable places on the planet to experience life, and so easily accessible there in the spectacular Mediterranean. And you so eloquently and perfectly noted previously how Malta has something for everyone. And on that note, something very significant is that Malta's oldest capital city, and is it pronounced Mdina?
Mdina.
Dina, yes, was voted one of the most beautiful small towns in Europe. Congratulations.
Yes. Conde Naste. Yes, thank you so much.
And so why is that? Why is Dina considered and also voted as by Conde Nast one of the most beautiful small towns in Europe?
So Valletta is beautiful, and it's our capital city. Mdina is very similarly architecturally very similar to Valletta. So also built by the Knights of Malta. It's a fortified small town, and the mystery around Mdina is still so present. Used to be the capital city of Malta. It's called the Silent City because no cars are allowed inside, only from special permits from the residents, which are not many. And it's filled with these palazzos, small churches, bigger churches, and museums, and cafes, and restaurants. And it also has a beautiful, beautiful hotel in there, Relais Chateau, the Shara Lodge, and Michelin star restaurant. It's just an experience. Just imagine taking a walk in the silent city as the sun is setting, and you're walking through these narrow medieval streets. The experience is like no other. Last time I was there, I was with a group, and we were scouting Malta for a possible visit, actually happening this May. And as I'm passing by, I'm hearing the nuns, the cloister's nuns, singing, and there's like a mass being said, and people praying, and it's just such a spiritual feeling. And yet you're walking through an array of history. So even looking at the buildings, it just there's the different styles of architectural buildings that you can look up. So there's a mystery while you're in Mdina. And you know what? And Conde Nast got it right. It is one of the most beautiful small towns in the world. So I hope you get to experience that one day soon.
Absolutely.
And it's definitely a must. And of course, it's located in the village of Rabat. Right outside Mdina, there's a beautiful Roman villa. It's not ruins because it's pretty much intact. And the village of Rabat is actually pretty old and has a lot of history in it. So you're in a great location, high up, beautiful views. So it doesn't matter what you're going to visit for, you're going to find it there.
It sounds absolutely incredible. And just from the outset of your amazing description and really transporting myself and those that will be so fortunate to listen to into the streets of it and walking down in a silent city. I don't believe I've heard that term before.
And we're really not, we're very noisy nation, you know, like we talk loud. So for us to have a silent city is actually, and remember, it was the filming set for Game of Thrones season 1.
Oh.
So it was King's Landing. So you can just get the gist of the atmosphere and what it looks like. And it's been a film set for many other movies, actually. It's just so beautiful.
I would imagine so. I would imagine, along with Mdina, are there other locations throughout Malta that have been used for a number of films and perhaps series?
Yeah, for sure. Like a lot of people don't know, but Malta is very popular as a movie location. The reason is that it kind of wears a lot of faces. It could be somewhere in ancient Rome, could be somewhere in the Middle East. It could be a European destination. It kind of camouflages at what the producer has in his mind. And yes, a lot of popular movies have been filmed, like Troy, Gladiator, and we do have movie sets, but the island is an open air museum, and it has been used as a lot of film locations. The island of Gozo is very popular, also in Games of Thrones. The city of Valletta is popular, and nowadays there are tours that one can take, and it just takes you from one movie set to the other, as you could speak, like movie set. It's not set up as a movie set, but it could be a piazza in a village, it could be a little medieval town, as I mentioned, and it could be somewhere near the sea. So there are tours that you can take to just go visit all these different sites.
And exactly, and then as you mentioned, you have such a fantastic dichotomy of geographies, and then also of the different lifestyles, if you will, that exist within those geographies or cities, if you will, spanning from, and then you just mentioned the sea, segueing into the absolutely spectacular yachting lifestyle and yachting component to Malta, correct?
Yes, actually, Malta has the largest. It's a hub for luxury yachts and especially charters, and it has the largest number of registered super yachts in the world. Um, you would think why? I mean, it's so small. The location, location, middle of the Mediterranean. It's kind of on the way for everyone. So yes, Malta has, and also remember we host one of the largest yacht races, the Rolex Middle Sea. It happens in October, so that attracts a lot of mega yachts towards the islands. And of course, there's a lot of, like recently, the charter safety. The companies are going through great lengths to ensure that their yachts are entirely safe. So they're getting on with the program and what is needed, protocol at these times.
Absolutely amazing. The largest number of super yachts registered in the world.
Yes.
That's
So it's
amazing.
very funny because wherever I'd be in Miami and I see like a Maltese flag, I'm like, oh, especially like when my kids were younger, you see that flag with the Maltese cross, or you're in Louisiana, New Orleans, you see one of these big ships going with the beautiful Maltese cross flying. You're like, hey, we're small, but we're everywhere.
We're small without, and that speaks volumes to Malta. And then that's also very reflective of some of the most fantastic, luxurious, and just in general markets, if you will, or areas on the planet. Malta, your Aspens, etc. They, small yet so abundant in history
That's
and
right.
and lifestyle and the people. It really, yeah, it speaks volumes. And then and Malta just having that abundance of the cultural history. And you touched upon something that I really loved discussing last time, how the knights built so much of Malta. And you just mentioned that about Dina as well, correct?
Yes, Mdina Valletta. Valletta was one of their masterpiece, built in a parallel street system, just like New York City. They say New York City was designed after Valletta, and
Huh.
it's just amazing how much thought it was put. Of course, it's like you had the Grand Harbor, so it was used strategically for business and war. So there was so much thought put into building this small city that again it's very visible in the buildings and the gallerias in Valletta, the streets, the port. It's just everything. It goes so well together, and again, it's still very visible. You said it yourself. It's 7,000 years of history comes culture, very rich culture, and the important thing is the lifestyle, and you can still see it and you can still live it. And I think that's what people are looking for. They're looking for that experience, not going to a place, taking a picture that looks nice and go back home. One is, I think the traveler today is looking to leave something behind and take something with them. And Malta definitely have a lot to offer like that.
Very, very well said. I think now more than at any moment in time, people are, yes, looking for the experience. So it really is such, it's an amazing time across the board in a number of different sectors of it, whether you want to call it the economy or whatnot, and luxury travel being at the top of that list because people are looking for the experience more than they ever have. And that's a beautiful thing for people, not just any one certain culture, but people in general looking for the experience because that in itself will cultivate and really provide for the greatest one. It will change the world to a certain extent with people experiencing more, and especially when they're experiencing amazing culturally rich areas such as Malta.
Absolutely. Agree.
Now, on that note, very interesting. As I was looking at your fantastic, I love your Instagram feed, by the way, and I
Thank you.
saw a symbol that I haven't seen, or a logo, however you want to put it, that I haven't seen since I was growing up in the '80s. And
Uh-huh.
at that time, it was one of my favorite logos, is the MTV logo. And I
And
thought,
mine.
okay, very nice. I was telling my wife how MTV, music videos, how that she recalls well how it was just so significant, right, in the '80s. I mean, it was
Yes.
really significant. It shaped my love of music. It shaped my life. And so then when I saw the MTV logo on your Instagram feed, I thought, well, that's interesting. And thus, the Isle of MTV is back, which seems very exciting. What exactly is the Isle of MTV, and why should people be, whether they know about it or, of course, the many that don't know about it, why should they be excited about it? Why should they be, if anything, using that as a reason to book a trip to Malta?
Sure thing. So the Isle of MTV is actually an annual music festival. It's organized by MTV Europe, and it has been held in Malta since 2007.
Wow.
Its previous editions were in Portugal and France, Spain, and Italy. But since 2007, it's been held in Malta. So Malta is officially the Isle of MTV.
I love it.
So what is the Isle of MTV? It's a free outdoor music event. It's usually held in June, July. This year is going to be held on July 19th, and it starts at 6 p.m. and it runs all the way till midnight. And it has an array of artists. We had Jason Derulo, Wiz Khalifa, Lady Gaga, Rita
Oh,
Ora,
wow.
Calvin Harris, Snoop Dogg. So it had that's just a few. Enrique Iglesias. So it just had an array of super mega stars, and they're there for that day, and it's free of charge. and it's no age limit. So it's pretty an exciting event. My teenage kids love going every year. Um, and yes, so this year's going to be in July 19th. The headliner is DJ Marshmallow,
I saw
and
that.
it's one of Europe's biggest free summer festival. And then
That is
if you check our
fantastic.
yeah, if you check our Instagram, you will see that there'll be more to be announced as the time comes closer.
And your
But it's
Insta-
an exciting event.
it sounds incredibly exciting. I'm so glad we have the opportunity to discuss it. And your Instagram, of course, is at Visit Malta. And
Yes.
when, and I would imagine now that we're already, again, surprisingly at the beginning of April, now is the time for people to learn more about it and book their trips. And so when they're looking to, if so, let's say you right now we're looking to book your trip to go. What is the best way for people to do that? What is the best? How should they go about creating their let's say their first Malta experience and using Isle of MTV as the epicenter of that?
So our Visit Malta website is actually very helpful. It helps you create itineraries. It gives you ideas of what you can do. As we said before, Malta has something for everybody. So yeah, okay. So you might love these festivals, and you're going for the Isle of MTV festival, which is great. But it's worth going into the website and see what else is being offered, because you might like snorkeling and diving, and you might want to know the best spots, and you
Right.
might want to know where to stay. So yeah, the Visit Malta website is very, very helpful.
Absolutely. And so you
And
can,
then obviously for those that do use travel advisors are pretty savvy. For the luxury side, Malta is a Virtuoso member. So a lot of the Virtuoso travel advisors are experienced and educated on the destination Malta, and they can help you create a very nice curated experience.
and with its 300 days of sunshine, which is just so magnificent, of course. And along with that, though, it's what's also really magnificent about Malta is during those 300 days of sunshine, and of course the other 65 days as well. But Malta really is consistently just spectacular the entire time. Correct? I mean, there's really.
It's a,
Go ahead.
Yes, it's open all year, and it's an all year destination. Winters are very, very mild, so yes, of course, January, February, even some of March, it goes down in the 50s or 40s. It gets a little windy, but nothing that would ruin a 1 week vacation. Again, if it rains today, tomorrow is going to be sunny, and of course, we can't guarantee the weather because it has a mind of its own. But yeah, it's an all year round destination.
And what have you, with the being in such an amazing position that you're in general, and then also with your, of course, love and history with Malta, what have what, and then in correlation with what we were discussing, how this is such an amazing time with respect to travel, luxury travel, and people seeking the experience. What, how has that been for you with respect to your engagement with what you do, with the hotel partners you work with the travel partners you work with? How are people also giving you the feedback in that regard with respect to what they're seeing with tourists and just people seeking the experiences in general, and then how it pertains to Malta?
I'm always learning. You think you know a lot, but in reality, there's always new things coming up, which is a good thing about Malta and many other places. The human being in general, the need for always creating something new. And curated experiences do not lack in Malta. And every year I learn more and more, whether it's hotels, whether these sustainability programs that are being offered, where you can go and see farm to table experiences and see how these things are done. It's always very fascinating. New hotels being opened, big chains, small boutique hotels, renovating and transforming of historical places into beautiful luxury locations where people could really have that real true experience, to dining and or wining on a vineyard, tasting the rich gastronomy, to creating a perfume with a local perfumist,
Ah,
located in a monastery in Valletta. I think I told you about it last time. So all these experiences is just, and I like to speak to the trade, because these are the guys that come up with these experiences,
right.
and they find that this is what the kind of new traveler is looking for. As I said before, going to a place, taking a picture, sitting on a bus or wherever, you get to that place, and it's not enough anymore. So you're definitely, we had that expression, living like a local. In Malta, you have no choice. Us locals, we do live outside, we do live life, so you're definitely getting that kind of experience.
That's fantastic.
You're living like a local.
So very well said. You're such a pleasure to speak with, Michelle. And
Likewise.
well, thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Thank you so much. I'm trying to keep up with you, and
No.
and so you touched upon two other, well, one that I had wanted to ask you about, but then one that we didn't really dig into last time is, so along with expanding again for a moment on the majestic culinary experiences in Malta, but then also you just mentioned an amazing curated experience, dining on a vineyard. And so,
Yes.
so the two hand in hand, of course, significantly, starting with the latter, what is the winery, the vineyard, the viticulture, what is that like in Malta?
Well, the Maltese vineyards are renowned in particular for their high quality boutique wines. So, we don't export. First of all, we drink it all. So we don't have enough for everyone else. You have to come to Malta to taste it. But you find these, which I call boutique wines. So if I go to the island of Gozo and I go to a particular vineyard there, their wine is particular to that area, to that soil, to the way they grow the grape. And remember, we do have 200 days of sunshine, so our grapes are pretty robust.
Right.
And most of these vineyards, you have a connoisseur, would help you to appreciate the indigenous Maltese grape. Um, and then, of course, paired up with the food is definitely the right Mediterranean palate. So that is a unique experience, and I always suggest for those foodies, that taste is one of their main senses. Is definitely taste Malta. I mean, you can have an experience today. Taste Malta. Actually, it's called Taste Malta, which is a historic experience. So you go to the Maritime Museum. Imagine you're sitting in these beautiful, huge rooms of the Maritime Museum, across the Grand Harbor from Valletta, and you are having a dinner that is based on a menu that used to be served to the Knights of Malta. So now you're eating exactly how the knights have eaten, paired up with the exact wines that they paired up with. And why do they know how to do this? They have Malta's very blessed that we still had archives. They have recipes. They have invoices of what the chefs used to you buy the ingredients, so the chefs today could mimic the recipe, and you're there and you're having this taste history experience in a place built by the knights, overlooking a city built by the knights. Again, go back to those knights, but yet in a luxurious setting.
That's
It's pretty
extraordinary.
amazing. Pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. I love that.
That is absolutely extraordinary. I was racking my brain trying to think if I have ever heard of something such as that. I don't think I have. Not that I, am the end all be all, but that sounds, along with being extraordinary, but very, very unique.
It is. It's a unique. But then again, for those that want to go to a vineyard and taste the modern Maltese cuisine or not, you definitely have to drink the wine. And we go back to the wine. Um, Again, as I said, the boutique. But the boutique wines are actually something that you take away with you, because it's exclusive to the area, so it's definitely a must.
And so you allow people to take some away because that would not leave
Yes.
as much for you to drink.
Yeah, we do allow. I mean, you made the effort to come all the way. We don't like you to leave empty-handed, so that we allow you to.
That that is one of I will never forget the fact that you said we do not export it because we drink it all.
We drink it all. We drink it all.
Oh, Michelle, you are you're so you are so fantastic to speak with.
And it's too early. It's too early.
Is now that we have had the opportunity to speak for the time that we have, is there anything that I didn't ask you during this fantastic conversation? I know how busy you are, and as much as I would love to speak with you all day, is there anything that I didn't ask you that I should have, or anything that we didn't touch upon, along with Mdina being voted the most beautiful, one of the most beautiful small towns in Europe by Conde Naste, along with the Isle of MTV, which is back, which I just absolutely love. Is there anything that I didn't ask that I should have?
Well, look, we can talk about Malta over and over, and we'll find new things to talk about. My aim by talking with you, it's a pleasure, first of all, and also, just to give a general idea and general feel about Malta. You said, I do represent the islands of Malta. I come from the islands of Malta, so it's part of me, and I talk about it because it's my home, it's my people, and it's definitely a lived experience. And one must visit. One must visit to experience. I've never been with anybody that went to Malta and came out and was disappointed. People don't know what to expect.
Right.
We're here to teach and to educate and to show what one should accept in Malta, but it's definitely a personal journey, like many other things. And Malta, being that it's so mysterious and so rich in history and culture, is definitely a personal. So for me, I call it a personal experience. So once you get there, then you know what Malta actually has to offer. So we're here to help. Again, visit our website for advisors that sell Malta. We have programs that one can take to educate themselves on how to sell Malta, and we're here to help you, and help anybody that wants to go.
So very well said. Everything you say is so very well said. Michelle Buttigieg, the North American representative for the Malta Tourism Authority. Visit Malta.com, on Instagram at visitmalta. Michelle, thank you again so very much for your time. Thank you for the opportunity to continue learning about Malta and what an experience it is. It's truly at the very top of my list of, instead of saying places I want to visit or places I want to go to, it's at the top of my list of experiences that I want to have happen in my life, and know that it's an experience that will change my life. And really quickly on that, because you touched upon it so well, and because it is so important right now with respect to, there are obviously so many beautiful places on the planet to visit. There's so many beautiful, extraordinary places to be on a yacht or to be at a luxury hotel, yet very few of them provide you with an experience in general, and further an experience that one can obtain by visiting Malta.
That's it. That's true.
Thank you, Michelle. I hope you have
Thank you so
amazing
much.
rest of your day, and I can't wait until we have the opportunity to speak again. Thank you so much for taking the
I
time.
look forward. Thank you so much. Always a pleasure.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.